Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
Season 2.
The show we still haven't pitched to TV.
The podcast game show where two friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the two answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they say.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with. No takebacks.
Our special round this season is reversal. The questioner will pose an open question, but the answerers will be choosing each other's answers. Ideally something they really hate or know very little about, which will lead to some very creative thinking.
That's the game. Good job, me.
I don't actually know any other words.
It's just old Canada.
Oh, Canada.
And then it's like maple syrup and ice hockey.
And the home of the...
We will always say sorry.
Hey?
Sorry about that.
Don't hit a moose with your car.
So are we recording, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, as promised in the previous episode, briefly, the Laura...
The Laura.
Yeah,
let
story.
me set the scene while James finds it. Laura, our dear friend from football, is a police officer, and she's re-experiencing the dating scene, and she's on Tinder. And the other night, a couple of weeks ago, from when we're recording this at least, she handed over her Tinder account to James.
So, to clarify, the reason behind this was Celeste and I had been together since we were 15. That was in 2009. Tinder was not a thing. iPhones were barely a thing. I think I still had a fucking LG cookie in 2009. So I was just complaining that I never got a go on Tinder. Like, it was something
I'm the same.
It was something I missed out on. So Laura was like, "You can have a go on mine," and she gave me a couple of ground rules, which I completely ignored. Well, it was like, don't change my profile description. I immediately changed her profile description, but it worked. So I changed her profile description with one line: "Yes, I own a pair of handcuffs." That was it. And then this guy matched me. I think he was a software designer from somewhere nearby. So here we go. We matched. He then says, "Laura, why do you have handcuffs?" Now this is all me. "If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Or I'm just kinky AF, you decide." And he put, "Describe your kink in detail. If you convince me, I'll consider not getting the fuck out of here." So I put, "Have you ever been slathered in honey awaiting a beehive to be broken? That's me. Danger is my thrill. The handcuffs aren't for the bedroom. They're for driving down the motorway. Also lemons and writing detective novels mid-coitus."
It's funnier when you say it than when I read this.
And I was like, "No, seriously, it's just an interesting thing to put in the bio, right? Got your attention." And he was like, "Laura, I was reading this and I was about to unmatch. I got 100% Psycho vibes." I was like, "Yes, you fucking did, sunshine. You wait." But now you're interested, right? With that little side smile emoji. And he put, "You got to work harder to gain my interest, let alone regain what you lost." So you guys are already a douche. So at this point, I'm just like, let's just see what can happen. I'm just fucking ready to torture. And he put, "Well, it's interesting that you've accepted this conversation is happening. And I know it's exceedingly rare to find a woman who exudes so much BDE. But I appreciate the chance to wow you. So what brings you to Tinder?" And he put, "You only get one shot, did not miss." And I was like, and then he put, "You only got one shot, did not miss your chance to blow because opportunity comes once in a lifetime." And then put tit, and I was like, oh my God, what a cringy bastard. Like, women are playing Tinder on easy mode fully. Like, I appreciate that. If I'd have done this to...
It's not even easy. It's not even story. It's...
It's like, tutorial. And I was like, and he put Tinder was seeing someone turn out she still had feelings of her ex, so I got the fuck out of there and was like, "What now, Tinder? Let's see how shit goes. What about you?" And I put, "I mean, to get Eminem lyrics quoted at me for one." And then put, "That sucks really bad, to be fair. It's not a fun situation to be in when somebody pulls that kind of stuff. I'm just going to see if there's somebody worth seeing a second time on here." at this point, I'm in.
Ultimate Riz.
Laura was getting laid. And she put, I'm glad you recognise the lyrics, and it does suck. I'm fine with just sex as long as you're not hooked onto them when there's something else better to come along. I was like, right, whatever. And he put, worth seeing a second time. You've got high hopes. I'm seeing if there's someone worth seeing once. But, well, it's not too hard to get a dinner and a movie if you want. The real question is, are you willing to have breakfast to watch the sequel? I thought that was a good line.
It's good. It is good.
That's pretty good.
That's a good question. Often on here, it's limited to a couple of options: dinner, drinks, coffee, movie, or just sex. If I ask you on any of those, if I ask you on anything that's not any of those, you're in a good spot. And I put, that's very true. So you're up for something more exciting. I'm always up for a unique day out. What would be a unique day for you? Fully like a blind date, cheesy question at that point, right?
Sarah Black's in the corner
And
somewhere.
I even put, fully role playing here, she asks as if she's on a bad episode of Take Me Out. And then he put, I'm not asking you yet, not at all. You'll have to earn that. Fuck off. What a douche. And he put, picnic, countryside walk, getting bikes and cycle around playing tourist for a day. I don't know, a bunch of stuff. And I just replied, that seems pretty vanilla, bro. And he put, intrigue me, and I was like, ever ran a marathon? Because she had a photo of her running a marathon in a profile picture. It says, ever ran a marathon? And she was like, Laura, I'm smoking weed right now. I'd die in 20 minutes.
And we come back to Dan's point. She is a police officer.
Yeah. So basically, then Laura was like, no, we got to pull out of this. We can't do it. And I was like, that sucks. And I put Mark, because he put Laura as one word, and then so I replied in the same format, Mark, that might be a conflict of interest, my guy, and then just siren emojis. And then it turns out that he was foreign. Not that that's a thing, but you know what I mean. No, I don't. No, so because we started talking about, he was like, I'm not even from the UK. I've only been in the UK. I don't know the rules. No, that was pretty much it. He was like, I've only been in the UK 10 months. And then I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then he managed to guess that Laura's car was red, which was interesting. But, then the guy turns out he's a gamer. And he starts pulling this. He starts this is how you know this guy's so fucking cringy, right? Man starts gatekeeping. And I can't deal with gatekeeping. I don't give a shit. And Laura actually plays video games. So I was like, he's like, saw that you play some video games. What are you into? And he's like, oh, would you know any if I named them? I was like, well, I love a bit of Minesweeper. And he's put, and I was like joking, I know if you only put, which ones do you know? I was like, you name them and I'll tell you if they're any good. And he goes, okay, CSGO, Valorant, COD, Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege. I was like, this guy is such a fucking virgin.
Not only that, 3 of those are free.
Yeah, he's a cheapskate. He says, if you know them, you get to see them tomorrow. No lies. You get to see me tomorrow, no lie. And I was like,
You can just see us go away.
and I put, so you like an FPS or two? And he was like, oh, you know they're FPS too, all caps. And I made this man fall in love with her. And he was like, I don't even put last COD I really put time into is Black Ops 3. Got a bit stale after that. Fully put in I just basically then started acting as me.
Yeah. That with you, Jay.
And so what actually I've worked out from all of this, it did put, what's your CSGO rank? And he put, ask about my Valorant one, not CSGO. And I was put, Valorant ain't my vibe. Watch yours. And he put, I'm only Master Guardian 1 on CSGO. It was weak. And he was like, oh, it's because it was the last bank holiday. He was like, oh, it's the bank holiday. Can we go and do something? I was like, no, I'm on shift. And he's like, what do you do? It's a bank holiday. And then put the police emoji, the handcuff emoji, and the siren. The siren. And he's like, I was joking, I'm not smoking weed. And he's like, is it illegal to smoke it here?
Yeah, that was pretty good. So is his name Mark? Listen,
You fully doxing him.
listen, Mark, if you're listening,
Oh, also,
Yeah.
no, that's a good point because Laura then kind of
advertised.
carried on the conversation, like,
you sent in the link, didn't you?
like, I was like, Laura was like, look, I can't be with you. I was like, here you go. Here's my link. Here's the link to my mate's podcast. Check it out.
Mark, if you're listening, bro, stop. Don't stop listening, but stop with whatever you're doing on Tinder.
We're here to break it to you, but
Mark,
you are in love with our freight train.
If you want to meet face to face, you're welcome to come on the podcast as a special guest and like see if there's any connection there.
Get in contact.
I'm not going to lie though, I don't like CS:GO or Valorant or Apex.
I know it's okay. But
Yeah, pretty good.
So
Shout out to Laura for definitely not consenting to us.
I know. I think
you don't listen.
I told her. I told
we
her.
should get
we were
Laura.
gonna do.
She listen?
We should get Laura.
Yeah. Another funny thing about Laura is my nickname for her is Cupcake Daddy. She hates it.
when Laura comes on, right, can we get a big bowl of questions, but they're all pretty much the same one about the police, and like it'll look like a really random thing. What things would a police dog? Something police related, like
What things would a police dog take to dinner? Right. Okay. So after that bizarre journey,
yeah,
stay off Tinder, boys.
Yeah.
Because I've won. Maybe I should try Grindr next.
The moral of the story is, as soon as someone mentions, FPS, CS:GO, Valorant, either you're speaking to a pretty cool girl or James.
Maybe that should be one of our special rounds.
I think
Round 3 grinder.
round 3, is it James or a girl? I think episode title. What I will say is I think this experiment has proved that actually what a bloke really wants is another bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
One of the boys.
a straight white dude wants a homie with a fanny.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what a homie with a minge.
Mm.
That's where we're at with that.
In this, I want that. Can I have that?
That is not a homie.
Yes. The reference, he's eaten a twisted dough ball.
No. He's eating his homie's twisted dough ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
ASMR,
that's
man.
visceral. Oh, I mean, my dick twitched a bit, but right. Okay. Now back to reality.
They're not even crunchy. How is it making that noise?
Sat there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's gone stale. Right, back to reality. Episode 11 of season 2 of Wood of Panther.
Mate, you've turned into Mark again. Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. You've gone back to Eminem, man. What the fuck is this?
Penultimate episode. That's it. Thank you very much. It is the second to last episode of season 2. We know you'll be sad, but guess what? Season 3 is around the corner. There's some specials coming as well. Some actually really cool high stakes specials. Not that the previous special guests weren't that cool, but
Guests that aren't technically our friends.
yeah. Well, no, they will be by the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Mark. So here we are. The scores: 9 for Captain Kirk,
Yes.
10 for Smokey D,
Yes.
and 11 for me, Craig David.
The thing is, we can still tie this up.
Yep. And it'll be really annoying if we have to do a 12.5 for season 2 as well. So
Only to Daniel if he's listening.
no, it'll annoy
I
me
think we
because
should just
we can still do it. We can still do it.
spite
I think even if we get a winner by the end of episode 12, we'll still do a 12.5. Maybe we could do like a second, third place playoff.
No. We just won't say who the winner is until 12.5.
Yeah. Right. But people are going to have to do maths. Right. Okay. So kicking us off today is Mr. Smokey D himself with the coin flip question.
Indeed. So, I hope this goes down a treat. Would you rather?
I'd just like to point out before you kick off. Sorry, we're recording this at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, so it probably is going to get a bit weird.
Yep.
Yeah, and yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Would you rather everywhere you
Oh yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Serious face.
would you rather everywhere you go all the time it's like you're wading through water and you are always dripping wet from the waist down, so it's like you're walking through water the whole time, no one else can see the water. It just it's difficult to walk in water.
Yeah.
It's about waist height, and that's why you are constantly dripping. Or everything you want is always just out of reach.
Does it move if you move?
No, so
It's like
say I'm putting my phone down here. Next time I want to pick it up, it's suddenly just out of reach, and I have to go and get it.
It's not like if I reach for it, it then moves further away.
I mean, I like that.
No, Dan, that was just actually, I would say that is probably the most well balanced either or you've ever done.
Yeah.
Like neither of those have I just gone, I really hope I don't get that.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'll be able to argue for
I
it.
really tried with this one
Good effort.
to not ruin your night.
Okay.
So heads or tails? James, you are in the lead, and you always get shafted by my coin flip question. So, heads or tails? Or
I'll have heads for just out of reach.
cool. Just out of reach.
Damn it. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's inconvenient, right? But it ain't fucking trying to fucking wade through water. Jesus Christ, you look like a twat. like for me, it's inconvenient, right? It's like you're at a restaurant and the fork, and you've just got to lean slightly further. But at that point, I can solve it for you, Dan. Grabber.
Yeah, it's just out of reach of the grabber, mate.
Even one with a dinosaur head.
Yeah.
Like the little dinosaur or shark ones you give. No, surely the grabber would be just out of reach, but whatever's
Yeah, and then you try and grab whatever you're trying to grab with the grabber is then just out of reach of the grabber. So you've got to
okay.
It's not like you're sat in a seat and it's like on the table, obviously visually you can't see this listening, but phone's there. It's not like you just have to kind of go like that. It's like uncomfortably out of reach. So you kind of have to shimmy out of your chair a little bit. You know when was I saying it on the podcast where I said I will do everything in my power not to leave the bed if I'm reaching for
I was going to bring that up.
and I'll have just my foot on it.
Yeah.
It could be occasions sort of like that.
Yeah, but that's fine. But also, magnets.
Nice.
Sure,
Yeah,
because we all know that everything is magnetic.
Not everything has to be magnetic. So you spend one terrible day where everything's out of reach. But what you do is you create a system of ropes and pulleys around your house that controls everything. Right? You ready? Then you put little magnetic rings on the ends of those ropes, and then you have a magnet fitted into a glove or on a ring, and then all you have to do is Jedi Force, and the magnet will pull the rope to you, and you can go. And then it'll be like a game of Mousetrap, and then the remote lands on you in your hand.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
And what's wrong with Wallace and Gromit?
Nothing at all.
There you go.
You
So,
install the magnet on on just ropes.
Yeah.
And then you have to install a rope on everything.
Yeah. Unless it's magnetic.
Sorry, but wouldn't the rope just be out of reach?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
the
that's what
magnet.
magnet's for.
Okay.
There's a magnet on the end of the rope, so the rope comes
Okay,
to him,
yeah,
and then he
yeah.
pulls the rope, which then somehow launches
Right,
whatever
right,
it is he wants. You have to make sure you put it down
Do you
in
know
the
what?
right place.
Yeah, but what you could do is you could do you know how a grand piano has the hammers?
Mm-hmm.
You could have it so you pull the rope and then it pulls one of those hammers and it just throws the thing at you. So you've
One
got them all
thing-
like loaded up in every room in your house.
Yeah.
One thing that just can't be on this pulley system just wouldn't work. Toilet roll. And that's too much effort to replace that every time.
Yeah,
Like-
you go to the
Yeah,
toilet
yeah.
and toilet roll just out of reach.
Do you know what wouldn't be just out of reach? A Japanese toilet. You know, one of the just buy a Japanese.
Uh-huh.
It's an investment, but let me tell you, right? If you've ever used a Japanese toilet, shout out to Connor Barron. You don't once you go Jap, you don't go back.
Let me explain the process of you buying a toilet. You grab your laptop. Oh, it's out of reach. You go get you find the website. You find the product. You go to grab your wallet. Oh, it's out of reach.
Well, no, because your credit card details are saved in your laptop.
It can be. They can be. Not always.
You know what would frustrate me the most is if I was on my PC gaming and I took my hand away from the mouse for a second. Every time I left the mouse, I had to reach.
I mean, I play controller, so I would pick it up once.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I mean, realistically, I have that situation now with this setup because my controller's charged behind my monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go, I walk round and pick up my controller. But
So-
it's also because I know if I didn't, then I'd be playing PlayStation instead of working.
James, I've seen how angsty you get when you run out of nicotine.
Yeah.
How bad's it going to get? But every time you put that down, it's out of reach.
That is the life of a vapor.
You're not right. Amelia's the same.
I just want to point out as well that your pockets get deeper.
That's fine. That's fine.
To really get in there.
That's fine. But you saw me when we recorded our last episode. At the end, I was like, right, vape time. And I stood up and I looked around and I was like, where the fuck's my vape? And then it fell on the floor from somewhere. The batteries fell out. I'm telling you, like, I lived that life.
Every piece of clothing, every shoe, you can't put them into ropes all the time. Every time you want to leave the house, your shoes are out of reach.
Yeah, but that's a
The
day.
door handle is just
Down's out of reach.
That's easily fixed with a magnet rope. Or a magnetic door handle. It's just out of reach. And you'd feel like a Jedi.
Is it my go yet?
Yeah.
Good. I only need one argument. One thing, right? You are fully justified to walk around going, wade in the water. And that's all I do for the rest of my life.
So you'd be a crazy man.
Oh, yeah. Totally justified. Wade in the water. Oh, it'd be great. It'd be great.
But no one else, everyone can see you dripping wet, but no one can see like the water around you. Like,
I'm
it just
just-
look like you're like slow motion walking.
And I assume that would also mean that it's not like it's just outside, is it? It's like all the time. So like when you just got out of the shower and you're trying to dry yourself, you're perpetually unable to dry yourself. When you get
And then
into
you
bed,
and then you put your pajamas on.
Yeah,
and
it's like you've
they're
pissed the bed.
instantly. It's like putting on soaking wet pajamas.
oh, could you imagine? And then like, you know, like when you do the bath mat, when you get on the bath mat and it's already wet because Celeste been in the shower before you and flooded the bathroom. And then you're like, yeah, and it goes,
It's a great noise.
Yeah.
and you know, and also there's a massive safety risk there, right? If you're soaking wet and you're like, oh, I'm going to go and fucking plug the telly in, or like, oh, I
When
need
was
to,
the last time you plugged the telly in with your knee?
or I need to charge my phone, but you're soaking wet.
From the waist down?
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
I'm dry up here. Like,
Yeah, but what happens if you're like, where are you going to keep your phone? In your pocket. You pull out your pocket, soaking wet phone, water damage.
Yeah, you're gonna have to invest in some upper,
Yeah.
upper
Upper
jacket.
pockets.
But all it takes though is absentmindedly, like you sat on the couch, soaking wet the couch is getting ruined, and you're like, oh, I need to go and like, I don't know, plug my phone in, right? And then
Invest in plastic.
then what you do is you do that thing that every bloke of a certain age does, Kirk, and we are rapidly approaching that certain age, and you go, "Ah!" And you have to make a noise. You have to make a noise.
you slap your knees.
And slap your knees and kind of use your knees, even though it's counterproductive, you use your knees to stand up. Your hands are wet. You go to plug your phone in, fried.
Let's say it's a really hot summer's day, right? One, nice and cool.
Also, I don't know about you. Sorry. When my sorry. I just want to point out.
I want to point out that I, apart from just right then, never interrupt.
No, that's not true. But I also like to point out, and maybe this is just me because I'm a larger gentleman. When my trousers and shorts get wet and my underwear gets wet, I get mad chub rub. Get so much chafing. I wouldn't be able to cope.
I would live in swimming trunks and, take a bit of shower gel around with you, balls never smell again. Just saying. Nice feeling.
Yeah, but also you're dripping foam out your fucking leg. And
That's okay. At least I'm clean. At least I'm clean.
Would you? How would you have sex? Wet sex. It'd be like shower sex.
I'd like to know when there's a dry.
Oh no, because come on, like it's not.
Fine. But when there's water involved,
It makes it drier. I was just about to say that. So it's actually dry sex is wet sex. Wet sex is dry sex. Shower sex is so uncomfortable. It's so dry. Bath sex is uncomfortable just because the bath is a limited space. Wardrobe sex is the same. Just saying.
What?
Anyway, I'm gonna get off this topic. So you know that awkward time when you go to the beach. I don't really go to the beach, but I know it happens.
You're scared of sand.
I'm scared of sand. But when you go to the beach and
Fully shoot.
you go into the sea and it's quite cold, and it's that awkward moment. You'll never have that again. You're already wet, so in case I'm gonna go into the sea.
What temperature is his water that he's constantly wading through?
Oh well, room.
Fine, yeah.
And if you go outside, it cools.
Yeah.
So oh my God, go out in a January morning. Oh mate, your balls are going to go up inside you. You're going to have ice. You're going to have ice dripping off the tip of your dick.
If you stood outside in like 0 degrees lower for long enough, it freeze over.
Okay, fair point. Not great in the winter, but in the summer, right now,
I don't know. It's a
hot,
constant drip. It probably wouldn't.
hot as balls outside. And, you can't be bothered to go to the water park. You just go to the nearby slide, instant water slide.
That is good.
That is
instant water slide is good.
instant water slide is the dream.
Yeah. You also ruin the park for everyone else.
It's a hot day. It's going to dry instantly.
You're also a grown man at a park. A grown man who doesn't have children and is dripping wet. Who has walked up to the slide and gone, kids, get out of the way, wading while going, wade in the water.
They're all like coaxing, like shepherding their kids away, like just leave the crazy man alone. Let him do his thing and we'll come back later.
Meanwhile, several therapists have opened next door to the park because they're like, oh, wade in the water, man's coming.
You'll be observed. You'll become...
No, it's just the kids who have been tormented are going straight in there. You're so mean to me.
Why is it always kids with you?
It's not always kids. You were the one who said I'm going to go to the park.
I never said there was kids there.
I'm sorry, but
in the night,
if you take a census of the population of a park, at most opportunities, there will be the majority will be children, especially in the playground.
where the slides are.
It's one thing if you're like, I'm going to go and join in the park run.
Damn.
Hey, all I can say is I'm the man that's liquid cooled. Okay? It's fine.
That sounds filthy.
But just imagine how good my farts would sound.
Yeah. This is our ASMR episode.
Strap in. Oh, God. James, you were saying a minute ago, actually, I wouldn't mind getting either of those options. Do you regret saying this at all?
Not at all, because I had like one really good thing that I was going to fully lean into for yours that you've not thought of. But, yeah. All I'm saying is I could Wallace and Gromit the house. Magnets are my best friend. And I definitely keep a... loads of those dinosaur grabbers. Because even those dinosaur grabbers, right? Even though you're saying they'll still be out of reach,
Listen,
it's more fun.
do you know what else would be really funny?
What?
You out of reach for the grabber, and you reach forward to get it, and then you go to reach it from the grabber. It just extends a little.
What about if I use the grabber to grab a grabber?
Just an endless chain of everything being out of reach.
But what about things that aren't technically able to be out of reach, like your car? Like, no one says, "Oh, my car's just within reach," do they? Like,
No, but like you'd go out the house and
like,
the road would be extended a bit.
You go to reach the door handle, and
Yeah.
the car would slide into the
Have you
middle of
ever-
the road.
Like, you know when you go to open a door and you just kind of miss the handle?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's got really bad depth perception.
Yeah.
That's what this really is.
Also, if you that could save your life, though, right?
Of course, they cost you life.
No, wait, because
If you fall off a cliff.
Yeah, grab something.
It's just out of reach.
you're about to have a car crash, you're about to drive into a tree. The tree's just out of reach when you slam your brakes on.
You're not grabbing the tree, though, are you?
Oh,
I'm just saying, if the
George
principle
Jungle here.
applies,
The brake is just out of reach.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's
It's
what
sliding
happens.
down your chair. Oh,
You're on the floor having a heart attack and your phone's just out of reach. No one's around. It's going to cost you life, too.
my car will automatically SOS call if I have a crash. Get a Tesla with the doors open itself. So like you've gone through the effort getting the key. Once the key's there, or even your phone at that point, you just use your phone, just remote open door. It's not going to be out of reach.
Thing is, I could take this even lower. Like,
You're just making it. Kirk's done that bad of a job. You just ramping up my difficulty.
I'm going to be honest. You've got the point. Go, you really. You. Sorry.
Wade in the park.
Hey, you really like my point until you picked it apart. Just saying.
I did actually look like it, and then there were some implications. Look, kind of ruined it. What I was going to say is, like, say you're playing on your controller. And
The button's just out of reach. You go to put the analog stick, it's just out of reach.
or on your phone when you want to close an app, and the
Your bass strings are out of reach.
Oh yeah.
but that's like going really like micro scale.
Your
So
dick's just out of reach.
Oh no!
that just means Celeste will have to reach for it. So the one point I was going to say that I was
Yeah,
going to hinge
enlighten
my
me.
argument flip was people use water for resistance training. You'd be swole because you're constantly walking.
I don't think that would have won me the point.
with your resistance training, so you'd be like beefy. But I wouldn't have gone to the park, which is what lost it for you.
I know he likes water parks.
I mean, when you said instant water slide, you know you were having it, and then obviously the next bit.
Yeah, they
Kinda
are,
went,
Yeah, but
oh.
also you could have just bought your own slide in your garden.
I could have. I realised I could have just found a hill and brought some tarpaulin and just done that way. But slide was the first thing I went to. All right.
Right. So at the end of question 1, I am
Fuck.
on 12 points. Kirk is on 9, and Dan is still on 10. And now, chaps, we come to my question, which I mean, I haven't really said much about, really, have I? It's just a question. It's definitely not been hyped up or anything. You have 48 hours to make £100 with a sack of potatoes, rope, and tape. How do you do it?
What is the weight of the? It's a kilogram of potatoes. Is it?
What's a standard bag? Is it like 4 kilos of
5
potato?
kilos.
Five.
Yeah.
5 kilos.
of potatoes.
Yep. I'd say about 3 meters of rope and a full roll of like electrical tape.
And that's all I'm allowed to use.
Yep.
Right. Right. I want to say something really.
That's a lot. That's a lot of ants.
That is a lot of pounds. There's something in my brain that's trying to make it click, but it's just not. No, you'd understand if, like,
If I had your brain,
yeah, but like, I'm like, I could do this, but it's like, I wouldn't make any money off of that. Like,
I'm the same.
I'm trying to.
Come on,
because I really want to use.
You are the champion of it. You could make money off of it.
I really want
I'm putting that to the test.
I really want to use this just because it's funny, but also I can't make any money off it, so it's pointless.
Okay.
So until I can make that connection, potatoes, rope,
yeah,
and tape. What color is the tape?
I'm going with like standard duct.
Silver or black?
Yeah.
Can it be silver?
If you want it silver,
black.
If you want it black,
What was electrical tape?
Yeah, you did say electrical, and I was thinking
Yeah.
yellow with the green stripes down it.
You're not
Sorry.
fascinating much with that.
okay, duct. Would you
Okay.
prefer duct?
Sure.
Yeah. I'll go with black duct tape. Can't add anything. To make £100.
Yeah, like I don't mean like physically create.
I know.
£100, I mean earn.
Print it.
I've created a potato pound process. You tape the potato, you stamp it on the money.
How many potatoes roughly is 5 kilograms of potatoes?
Depends on the weight of the potato, doesn't it?
What are we saying, like 20 potatoes?
Hey Google, what is the average weight of a potato? So call it 200 grams. Is 5. So 200 grams is 1 potato. So
5 potatoes.
it'd be 25 potatoes.
Oh, so I went far off with 20. 25 potatoes.
Okay.
That's got nothing to do with it, but now we know.
Okay, I've got it. So, with my bag of potatoes,
Yeah.
my rope, and my tape, I'm going to go to a farmer's field, and particularly a cornfield. I'm going to wrap one of the potatoes in duct tape, and I'm going to hide all of them in the cornfield. I will announce to the public.
For a minute there, it looked like you'd forgotten what you were going to say.
No.
And you went, is this going to work?
I will announce to the public that it's £10 entry. If you find the potato with the duct tape on it, you win £150. I keep 100. The rope is to mark how many potatoes have been found by putting a knot in it.
Interesting. I like it. That's really clever, Kirk. The only question is, luck would like if your luck runs out, somebody finds the potato.
Oh, they're not find that potato.
Right. Okay.
Don't forget that bit. Yeah, they're not finding that potato.
Right. So essentially, it's gambling £10
Mm-hmm.
to try and win £150.
And even once all the potatoes have been found, that's 250 quid I've already made. And if someone did find the potato, I'm still going to make £100 because I've only offered £150 as prize money.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You think people are willing to spend £10 to go looking for a potato?
I mean,
It's turn 10 to 100.
turn 10 to 100.
Yeah, but I just think that's a bit.
Just go and find a potato.
I mean,
in the
yeah,
cornfield.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Dan,
Listen,
are you taking a knee, bro?
no, I might be from what I'm about to say.
Right. Okay.
Like, I'm trying not to resort to violence.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Violence was my first thought when I read that question. I was like, tie the rope round the bag of potatoes.
Yeah.
Twat an old lady in the head. Steal her purse.
Repeat.
Tape up the victims so they can't grass you up,
No, you just.
or tape up your face so they can't see who you are.
So listen, still haven't figured out how I'm going to make this connection yet. We'll see what happens along the way.
Okay. Do you want me to try and help? Would you like
No.
you tell me and I'll help you try and fit the pieces
Well, if you'd like to, but I'm not going to encourage it.
together? Okay.
You take your rope.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 25 meters long, coincidentally, with the amount of potatoes.
I mean,
you
we
have.
said 3 meters.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
3 meters of rope. You unravel the rope.
Yeah.
To make it 25 meters of rope.
Oh, so you're
Okay.
twisting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also conveniently makes it thinner, which I like.
Yeah, so you are basically making string
Yeah.
out of your
Okay.
rope. Okay.
And if you need to tie it and pop a little bit of duct tape around the knot, each knot, just to give it that security to hold together.
Yeah.
Every meter, you put some. So you grab the potato in your hand, and then you make almost like a little beanie of tape for the potato over it, So it looks like a bit like a potato acorn with duct tape on top.
Right.
You then attach one of them at every meter along the rope.
Yeah.
You then go to some secluded place. You hang it up so it looks like potato fairy lights.
Yeah.
This is the part where I'm trying to figure out how I make money off this. You then
I feel like this is really quite genuinely interesting.
listen. You invite people to come along to see the amazing potato lamps. You charge them £1 entry, as long as you get 100 people.
But the sad thing is, Dan, in order to see these lamps, you have to go
The
in
sad
the
thing
daytime.
is I just said all that and realised how stupid it was.
Go in the daytime.
Well, no. If you invite them, get there for 10 p.m.
Yeah, you can do, but they're not going to see fuck all. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
they're not.
Listen.
They're not actually lit
they're not
up.
luminous.
You get there for 10,
Yeah.
and I say I'll switch on the lights at 10:15. Everyone's paid their entry. I've booked it with the money. They're all stood there in the dark like idiots with a bunch of potatoes hanging over their heads.
Can't see anyone paying to go and see some potatoes. Even if you said they're the most amazing new potato lights, I'm not sure I'd pay to go.
I'd put it in a situation where it's like a circus. So it's like everyone's already there to.
Step right up. Step right up. Come and see the
Someone-
amazing spud lights.
It only works if 100 people are stood around at once. So,
We need 100 volunteers to come and see our spud lights.
and even if I have to, I'll do like £2, and it's only 50, innit? 50 people. You know, two £2, in you go, and it's all dark. They won't see me slip out. Solved. £100.
I mean, yeah, that's intuitive. It took you long. Like I
It'll
was
look
going to say,
pretty as well.
I was going to say, I've seen we've had it a few times where Kirk's really got stumped, but I think that's the first time I've seen you genuinely like.
So here's the thing. I thought of that. I thought of
404 Dan not found.
I thought of the very like potatoes, and I was like, I like this, but I can't make money off it. But I really, really want to use it, and I just couldn't get my brain away from it.
So we've got essentially robbery versus
Without the violence.
versus a weird potato whack-a-mole.
It's gambling, but the house wins. It's a casino
Yeah, okay.
in a cornfield.
Hide
Corn-cino.
and seek potato.
Yeah.
That went really weirdly, and I'm glad that I asked that question. So I'm going to give the point to Kirk.
Thank you.
I think.
What do you mean?
I think you both did really well, but yeah, I think Dan, you floundered a bit at the end. But did you enjoy the question?
I did.
I did.
I hated every minute.
Maybe we'll make it a special round one season. 3 items. How do you make money?
Yeah.
How many times is it going to be? Find the potato.
Well, I don't know. My first thought with that question was to go to Aldi, steal all the chips and the potatoes,
And just be
and
like,
then just monopolize it and go, well, I've got some.
just like you
but
want some
they're-
potatoes, mate.
But they're quite a bit each.
Or you literally plant the potatoes
Right.
because they regrow potatoes, don't they?
48 hours. I
I
did.
forgot about that
You
bit.
haven't got 2 months to grow these things.
And then you just hang yourself with the
Right, okay. So, at the end of that round, Kirk is on 10,
Yes.
Dan is on 10, and I am on 12.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Kirk, give us the reversal round. Jesus H. Christ. And I thought
It's
I was
sad.
going to be the one who took it off the rails.
It's sad that the best I can hope for is no change from last 2 episodes.
It's 10:30 p.m. What do you expect?
I don't know which one to go for.
Okay, so a big thanks to our sponsors for season 2 of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild, Manuka Farm. They provide a wide range of honey-infused CBD products that help manage pain, anxiety, and sleep. And by using the code PANTHER10, you can take 10% off your first order across the site.
If you're like me and you're struggling with your sleep a bit, for me, what's working best is the oil gummies and the sleep spray.
I've not tried the sleep spray.
Yeah, and the oil is really tastes good. Tastes like honey. You wouldn't know that there's CBD in it. The gummies have got a bit of a twinge, but I still really like them because they taste like honey. Also, their skincare stuff is really good. I've been using it. It's top notch.
Nice.
And if CBD isn't your thing, well, they do just sell honey as it is. So that's Panther 10, PANTHER 10 for 10% off at manukafarm.co.uk. That's Manuka, MANUKA, farm, PHARM.co.uk. Every time the Panther 10 code is used, we look really good. We don't get any money for it, or it's not an affiliate link, but it really helps us in terms of growing our podcast, and it really helps Manuka Farm grow their business. So it's a win-win for everyone.
And you help yourself out with your pain, anxiety, and sleep.
Yeah, give it a go. Tell them your boys sent you.
And thanks to Manuka Farm for sponsoring us. So for this reversal round, you've both been putting For this reversal round, you've both been putting in. Oh my god! Haven't lasted.
You got to leave these in.
Sorry, edit Kurt.
It's your own fault.
You can just think about potatoes.
It's really hard to say this sentence. Okay. Okay, so for this reversal round. God. It's really hard to say. Okay.
Do you want me to try? Okay, so for this reversal round.
That isn't the hard bit.
Well, that's the bit you've been fucking saying 5 times.
Apologies. Okay. You've both been put in an
asylum.
Yeah.
I thought it was in an ass.
No. You've both been put in an asylum, an insane asylum. Okay,
You got it right.
Yeah. What is your opponent telling people in there to prove they don't belong inside? You're giving each other's answers, and you got to roll with it.
What? Can you repeat the question? If you physically can.
You've both been put in an insane asylum. That's really hard. Guys, try and say that.
Insane asylum.
You've both been put in an insane asylum.
Fuck you, James. What is your opponent telling people in there to prove they don't belong inside?
Can it be, I don't belong inside?
Yeah,
I'm joking.
It can be anything.
It can be anything. They have to roll with it. Whatever the reason you give them that they don't belong inside there, they have to
Does
roll
it
with
have to be coherent?
No, you're an insane asylum.
So Dan is just going to say, what?
Say what?
What?
Daniel's saying, what?
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 Can you spell that?
FLAWARNTD.
Can you spell that again?
FLAWRNATDD.
Flaunt.
Flaunt.
What?
Flaunt.
Um,
Would you like me to give him something actually coherent?
Up to Dan.
yes.
Should we say it has to be like remotely a word?
Yeah.
A word or phrase or sentence.
Yeah.
The fruit are bullying me.
Mm.
Nice.
Grandma ate my crisps.
Okay.
I really wanted to say the potatoes do light up. I thought we'd leave that in the past.
Okay, so now I am your sort of like warden of the asylum, and you're trying to convince me that you're not supposed to be here. You're not crazy. Using what the person's giving you.
So, so can I say other things? Like, because if I surely otherwise the rest of this question
you can. But that is the basis of your argument. Yeah,
core argument.
Yeah. Okay, are you going to like interview us or?
Sure. Okay, so James.
Yep.
I've got a note here from your nurse saying you don't think you belong here.
I would agree with that.
What are your reasons?
Grandma ate my crisps.
Okay, well,
Elaborate.
can you elaborate on that, please?
They were those really nice, like Taste the Difference crisps from Sainsbury's.
Oh, they're good.
I think they were really fancy ones, you know, like the vegetable ones as well, where they got like the beetroots and the parsnip. And struggling for a bit of money recently. So I used my last £1.50 on it. Took them round Grandma's house. Made it expressly clear to Grandma that those crisps were my crisps and I was really hungry. She says, "Make us a cup of tea, dear." I was like, okay. You know, Grandma, you make her a cup of tea. She wants a cup of tea. Fucking came back. Grandma ate my crisps. So what did I do? Shove the packet down her throat. Don't think I'm crazy. I was crazy at the time, crazy mad. I've calmed down now. Okay, I'll never get that packet of crisps back again. But there's been plenty of crisps in the canteen, chipsticks and whatnot.
The question is, James, is Grandma real?
Yeah. Grandma died a while back. From inhaling crisps. So at this moment in time, she is not real. But previously, she was.
So your basis of your argument is you are a conscious murderer.
It was a
No.
it was a moment of temporary insanity. It was like a crime of passion.
Yeah.
So, and actually, you'll find that the law states that yes, I can be convicted and called insane, but then once I am no longer insane, I can be released. And I believe now that I've had some crisps that those ones actually probably weren't that good, and I'm okay.
So you're pleading insanity to try and get off the case?
No. At the time,
yeah,
she made me go crazy.
Okay.
Granddad watched.
You were crazy.
And do you know what the worst thing was? Granddad was fully like, I fucking told her not to eat your crisps. I fucking told her. And he was like, but she didn't listen to me. Like, well, you've been married 60 years, Granddad. Of course she's not going to listen to you. I don't fucking listen to you. I've been here 20 minutes. But,
I'm sorry, I'm getting vibes that you're talking to someone in the room that isn't here.
no, I'm reenacting. It's a scene. But those, I mean,
he's got the big audition coming up.
At this point, I'd say the crisps probably weren't even all that, and I could probably get another packet when I get out. But yeah, I was a little bit upset.
Well done. Okay, sure. Dan, can you're obviously in the same room. You're in the same interview process. You've been saying the same thing to your nurses. Can you explain your version of events?
Listen, I lost my cool. Let's start with that. I was being bullied. I didn't appreciate it. Them pesky fruits. You know, when they're on their own, they don't say nothing. There's a whole bunch of them. They start, chirping, piping up, get a little rowdy. Let's just say they're smoothies now. I just lost it. I couldn't take it anymore. They'd been bullying me for a good 23 minutes.
Were they cyberbullying you as well?
No. They were there in person.
in fruit, you mean?
What?
Well, they're not in person if they're not people.
Nah. Listen. Plot twist. They were people
dressed as
fruits.
And now they're smoothies.
It was honestly outrageous because I didn't realise the costume competition was fruits only. That's why I went as a broccoli. And it just got out of hand. I didn't believe me. I swear the strawberry was the worst. Seedy prick. It was just a light brawl. That's all it was. And it explains my outbursts in the cantina when I fight the salad bar.
Fight the salad bar.
Do you want some tomatoes with that? No, I bloody don't.
Are tomatoes a fruit?
Yeah. They've got seeds in them. They are not the seeds.
Okay. So this whole time, Dan, when you've been screaming at the walls, the fruit's been bullying me, you were actually referring to your previous trauma. Wow. Why can I only imagine the fruit from that advert? Like, oh, baby. You know what I mean? Pretty ladies.
like the when you've been tango type. Was it tango?
Is it
where
Ribena or
the
something?
guy dressed in orange, like
Ribena.
orange is
Ribena. Because they have all the weird animals and stuff.
I'm really intrigued by how they are now smoothies.
Yeah.
What?
You said they're smoothies now.
God, don't remember that.
So on one hand, James has killed his nan with a packet of crisps, and Dan has been traumatized during a costume contest, and now shakes at the sight of a salad bar.
He sounds like he needs to be here a bit longer.
Listen.
You both twisted this so well.
They had it coming. I couldn't stand it.
Do you know what the best thing was?
Nobody berates a broccoli.
Do you know what the best thing was? At the funeral, she got cremated, so she became a fucking crisp. What goes around comes around. And I ate her.
Oh no, I sound crazy.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I think from this assessment, both of you fucking deserve to be here, to be honest.
He ate his grandma.
In an act of revenge.
You're a walking ASDF movie. I am punching my salad. Okay, guys, I can't believe how good that was. I went into that question thinking, oh, this might be okay. This might be a quick finish. I don't know. But it's actually on the funniest things I've heard on this podcast. I haven't cried laughing on this podcast ever in God knows how many episodes we've done.
At the Christmas one.
So because of that, I'm going to give it to Dan because he has made me cry laughing. Fantastic. What a great... Both of you twisted it so well.
You did really well.
You both went into this really tentatively, like, oh, what can we say? Oh, this little fuck it, we'll just try this. And then you just turned it so well. Oh, honestly, well done.
Should have stuck with Flarg.
Oh my God. I forgot you had said the salad thing, so I was thinking in my head, why hasn't Flarg come up yet? But then I realized, oh no, it was good. Oh wow.
So,
oh God.
as if the tension couldn't keep building higher, at the end of episode 11, it is 12 for me, 11 for Dan, 10 for Kurt.
I can't win.
You could make it a tie.
I can tie. Great.
You could take us to a 12.5. Fucking hell. Well,
that was a good one.
It was. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time for the season 2 finale.
Oh my God. We're
Well,
here.
yeah, can you do some like trumpets? You know, like one of them, like almost like when Zelda, not Zelda, Link, like gets the,
Uh-huh.
well, yeah, that kind of,
Go
yeah.
on.
And yeah. Well, no, thank you very much, dear listener, and we will see you in the finale, I've been Thick Jim,
Go on, Captain Coke.
I'm Smokey D.
who is not allowed in a subway anymore. Because you'll start fights with the salad.
Oh, I was thinking about the potatoes. How does that relate?
Sorry, so he is Smokey D, still thinking about potatoes.